Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Today, I kind of wanted to talk about the idea of how you can't save everyone, and that's the true reality of it. You just can't. Like, let's be honest, right? Seeing the people you care about hurt and struggle and go through trials and tribulations and yet are met with failure time and time again is just, it's unfortunate, right? It really is, you know, disheartening and horrible to see and unfortunate, but the truth of it is if you put in all your effort that you already have been putting in and you keep on doing it and all you see is an effect of you having to constantly drag them or you having to constantly force them to get out of their comfort zone and kind of basically train them and grow and raise them into an environment that is not theirs and is not making progress at all. You need to be able to recognize that pattern, see that it is reality and that your presence is being relied on. Your support, your ability, your tools are being relied on. If they didn't have you, they would continue to be in their bad habits and their constant struggles. And so this will be when guilt creeps in the most, when you'll have those voices said, I should have done more. I should have been there. I should have, I should have done this. I could have done this. I should have, right? There's so much shoulda, coulda, woulda, everything, right? Of literally every scenario in your mind. But you did everything already. You did it. Like, that's the biggest issue is that if you look back on the timeline, right, you may have made mistakes or whatever the case may be. Maybe you weren't there 24/7. You have a life, right? You have a life. You have to be there for yourself. Even if you don't think you have a life, you are surviving. The number one thing is that you are trying to survive on your own. You need to survive. You need to prioritize your own mental space, your own physical health, mental health, all these different things. And you are blaming yourself for prioritizing yourself. It's not selfish. It's called being human. In order to be there for others, you need to suffice yourself. How are you supposed to, grow? How are you supposed to face more and more challenges without coming to yourself and trying to build yourself and build that foundation? How are you able to give more water than your bucket holds? You know what I mean? It doesn't exist. It's not a reality, right? And you start to be, eventually being horribly burnt out and blaming yourself constantly over and over and over. But the reality is that you did everything. So don't be focusing too much on that. I want you to eliminate that out of your thoughts. The worries will creep up. The guilt is always going to come back. But as long as you offer and as long as you're there, that is all that matters. Sometimes a gentle reminder that sometimes helping is not always the best thing. Sometimes it's the listening, it's the presence, it's just the pure fact that, someone can be there. But it's not the physical fact of forcing them out of their comfort zone or pushing them constantly or offering them all these opportunities and constantly feeding them, force feeding with a spoon, you know what I mean? It's about having the food right there and them being in their bed. It's about having the ingredients to make a croissant, like a croissant, but you're not making it for them. You're kneading the dough and getting the butter and doing everything yourself and them just watching. You have all the ingredients there and offer it there. Have the cabinets. You can do things like having the cabinets open so they know that the ingredients are there for them to take it, right? But you don't have to make it for them because that is just feeding them. That is just going to make them rely on you. That's going to say, hey, this guy can give me croissants now. They can feed me croissants. That's amazing. That's beneficial to me. Why should I put in the effort? And so you're feeding this mentality over and over and over. The days, the weeks, the months, it will feed into that mindset that they can rely on someone like you because you are strong. You are dependable. You are reliable. And they want that the most right now. But in order for them to get out and do it themselves, they need to be the ones taking out the ingredients, seeing the opportunities, and doing it themselves without you constantly having to monitor them like you're some sort of supervisor, right? So stop trying to pour from an empty cup. It just doesn't work. It's not reliable. It's not, you need to find your own water source And whenever you find that water source, you can share. You know, there's nothing wrong with sharing, but don't keep finding the water source, pouring it into your own cup, then pouring from your cup to theirs. They need to go and go to the sink and fill it themselves. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a gentle reminder. It's just a quick reminder that not being able to save everyone is not you failing. It's not that you're insignificant or not good enough or you didn't put in the effort. It means you are human. It means that you need to live your own life. It means that you have your own needs and wants and you know, priorities that you need to take in place instead of just one person, you know, even if that means family, relationships, or friends. But yeah, just a gentle reminder. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope, you know, I would love to hear your comments, your thoughts on today's video. I love replying into it and exchanging thoughts, you know, because I love criticism too, because it's like I can see it and be like, okay, this was wrong by me. I'll correct it next time kind of thing, you know, because I like improving. It's like I'm at a step and, you know, improving is up for me. Positive feedback makes me feel good that I'm at this step, but criticism also makes me like, oh, okay, let me shift up here a little bit, or let me go down and analyze what I did before and then go back up. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that, you know? But yeah, let me know your thoughts, because I take them both negative and positive. Much love as always, and I hope to see you in the next one.